Coming to you live from a park because my son is in the back. Things that made me a better freelancer, and by better I mean earned me more money or got me better projects. The first thing that comes to my mind is thinking long term. At the start of my journey, I would think of a project as, hey, it's this one-time opportunity. I've got to get the most money out of it. I've got to get the most out of this one thing. And it was not till maybe 5 years in that I started to realize it's much better if I try to form a relationship, and a longer term relationship, with this production company or agency or person. I would navigate this just off of pure instinct, but then I started to realize that there's a very clear framework that can help me navigate this. And that's something that I've shared quite a few times on this channel and on my Instagram account, which is the NPP framework, which is the Network Portfolio Profit framework. I'm often trying to make decisions knowing that this will not be the only project we work on, and that hopefully we work on more projects in the future should we get along. Back to the NPP framework, when a project comes in for me, I think, is this going to grow my network? Is this going to profit for me? Or is this going to bring me in the amount of money that I desire? Or is it going to build portfolio and into the direction that I want to go? I'm trying to aim for all three of these things, ideally, but I would often take the job if it's just two of these things. An example of this might be I get a request in, it's for a car company, perfect. I want to head towards more car stuff. Maybe the pay's not good for some reason. Maybe it's a super small project, but the portfolio is that they hire me to be a directing DP and I get to do a lot of stuff creatively and in the direction that I want to go in. That would be, for me, a perfect job to take. These kind of jobs and opportunities have come about often from thinking long term like this, rather than just thinking, hey, it's not paying my day rate, I'm not going to take it. Or it's not something creative right now, I'm not going to take it. And so having this framework has allowed me to sort of navigate, sorry, my knees are hurting and I'm getting old, allows me to navigate things on a more longer term timeline. I think a lot of freelancers that I've worked with are just trying to get their bag and run. Having a clear vision or direction that you want to go in, semi-clear vision at least. I haven't been always super clear, like, oh, this is what I'm going to do. I just have an intuitive feeling. I'm like, okay, I want to go towards cars more this year and I'll shoot cars, for example. Somehow it manifests into my life, my attention goes there. That doesn't mean you have to know everything. It doesn't mean you have to know your 5-year plan, 10-year plan, where you're going to be in those next 5-10 years. It's just more about, do you know what kind of direction you want to go? Writing it down and making sure you're aligning with that every day. That's something that made me more focused, I would say, and allowed me to market and share my work in the direction that I wanted to go. Because it's really hard if you don't know really where you want to go. You might think, oh, I'm taking this food job here and I'm taking like a travel job here and I'm taking like a real estate job here. It has benefited me from knowing, hey, I want to focus on cars. I'm going to cut out this shitty type of work here and then just focus on that. Kind of leads me on to my next point, which is not neglecting your marketing, actually sharing your work. I think this is when I started to really up-level my types of requests and my inbound requests and didn't feel like I was begging people for work, was when I started making my own marketing material. And just like Nike, just like Adidas does, they blast the same message across each campaign for a very long period of time. Not every campaign's the same, but they're bringing out a shoe. You've seen it like 10 times on a billboard there, a YouTube ad there and something, and you think, okay, maybe I'll buy a Nike shoe, or maybe I'll buy an Adidas shoe. And it's the same with our marketing. It's the same for me. I'm not afraid to share my work multiple times, and I think if I don't remember what my breakfast was 3 days ago, how is anyone gonna remember my work? Learning that the marketing side of making videos is also a lot, and it can be super tiring. I understand this because you're making videos for clients and then the next thing you've got to do is make videos for yourself. It's like super tiring. I get it. Number 4 kind of falls into something that I was very afraid to do, which was getting myself out there and putting myself out there. Whoa, it's getting super windy. Just watching my son run away over there. Falling into this sort of marketing thing is networking. Being places in person and going to events was something I was really adverse to at the start. But then as I started to put myself out there more, I started to see the benefit of connecting with people in person and really, getting out of my little hermit mode. There's nothing more impactful than getting to know someone in person. A lot of my jobs have come from me just randomly meeting people at events in Berlin, and we just vibe, we get on, and then a few weeks later, they might ask me to help them out on a project, and it's not intentional on my side. It's just that there is like some personal connection there and a vibe that happens between us, instead of just seeing someone's work and thinking, yeah, they're good, but then, you meet them and maybe there's no connection between you two. And I think in this industry, it's all about connecting more than just on a work level and professional level, at least for me. Making the effort to actually go to certain events, film festivals, or meetups from production companies and agencies with the intention of just saying hi to friends and people in the industry and not trying to get something out of them. There's oftentimes you can smell it in the room when there's people just going around getting the emails, going around getting WhatsApps just for the sake of networking. And honestly, I'd rather meet one person there and just have a decent conversation with them than dip after 30 minutes than be going around like harvesting people's emails and Instagram accounts. Because that's, it's pushy and it's needy and it doesn't work from my experience. Number 5 would be that I'm trying to try something new on every job. Now, the nature of our work is that there's always some new shit to figure out on each project. However, I'm intentionally trying to try out a new lens. I'm trying to try out a new camera technique, try out some new piece of equipment, or try out a new way of preparing for the project. I'm constantly trying new things, and from exploring this, each time I hope to get 1% better or understand more of the unknowns in a project. And that has just led to me going into projects feeling more peace, more at ease, and having obviously more knowledge to pull from. But knowing, for example, that, okay, on this type of budget project, I can get away with doing a shot list like 2 or 3 nights before, instead of having to like write a whole shot list out and justify it to an agency and a client, and therefore not have so much anxiety and stress, because I'm quite an anxious person, I'd say, when it comes to projects, because I have like a performance anxiety. I want to perform, I want to do well. There's a lot of things moving on the day. I want to be as well prepared as possible. But having tried so many types of things on shoots now and having just experience, it really gives me a lot of confidence. Hello? I'm just filming right now. All good? I'll tell you how to do that. It's too complicated to explain it right now. Or you can just YouTube it. Just YouTube it. Just YouTube it. That is my answer to almost all of my problems. Just YouTube it. The amount of times I've been on set and I've YouTube stuff is insane. That maybe leads me on to my next point, actually, which is saying yes to something then figuring it out along the way. I have said yes to so much shit that I've not really known how to do, because I have known in theory how to do it but never put it into practice. But then I've arrived and then figured it out beforehand, because I've done research, I've asked other people how to set up a shot, and then I do it on the day and it all goes fine. And I think so much of filmmaking, as I've shared before, is problem solving. So maybe it might be, hey, we want to get a type of shot that looks like this, or I've pitched like a shot that I think maybe I don't know how to do this, but I'll try and figure it out on the way. And then I'll just call people. I'll just message people in my network who have done this shot or who have done something similar and say, hey, how did you rig this? How did you light this? How did you transition and do this? I don't know. At the end of the day, people know stuff and they're always willing to help, especially if they're my friends and people I've worked with. We are paid to also problem solve and to be very, very clear with our attention to detail. So it is my job as a director to look out for small details and to make sure that the story is making sense. And on the day, that might mean something stupid happens, like a headphone breaks and it's the only prop that we have it's that exact headphone. And it's like, okay, let's go, let's run with it. And so I'm just trying to say that saying yes can often lead to great things, because it forces you to grow and it forces you to step out of your comfort zone. Finally is putting people first. Put people first over anything. Treat people well, be kind, be empathetic, listen. This is a very people first industry. Of course there's a few assholes on set every now and then. At the end of the day, we're all striving to make something great and together. And any form of this kind of ego can be very destructive and can leave a bit of a stain on a project. I remember the most the experience that I have and the people that I work with. And the process is what I love of making films, not just the end result. If you can put people first, then people are going to refer you afterwards, people are going to speak kindly of you, and hopefully not call you a complete dickhead.